Hey, I'm Maggie Krause. I'm a softball player committed to Tennessee, and this is the No Playbook podcast.
All right. Thanks so much for checking out the show. This is the podcast featuring real recruiting stories. My name's Casey. Joining me today on the show, Maggie Krause, a softball player who's recently committed to the University of Tennessee. She joins the show to talk about her recruiting experience, why she decided to sign with the Lady Vols, and she shares an unforgettable sports memory. This episode is sponsored by Stinnett Collision. Reach out to them if you're in need of automotive repair. They've got locations in Maryville and in Sevier County. Get to Maggie Krause right after this. Sit tight.
Hi, I'm Zach Stinnett, third-generation owner of Stinnett Collision. As a proud supporter of Tennessee athletics, we know that every game counts. When a collision puts you out of play, we're here to get you back in the game. Family-owned since 1965, Stinnett Collision now has locations in Maryville and Sevierville. With double the space and a team of certified technicians, we'll tackle your repairs and get you back on the road in no time. Don't let a collision sideline you. Visit Stinnett Collision today.
Indiana, right?
Yeah, I'm in Indiana, like Brazil, Indiana.
Okay, Brazil, Indiana. I don't think I've heard of that.
Probably not. It's a really small town.
What else is from Brazil, Indiana?
uh, Not much. It's close to Terre Haute, Indiana. Larry Bird's from Terre Haute, played at ISU from Terre Haute. So there's that.
Of course, of course. Well, and soon to be, they'll be recognizing this is the home place of Maggie, right?
Yep.
Well, hey, thanks so much for joining me. And
Me.
congratulations on your recent commitment to Tennessee.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's very exciting. What finally led you to choosing the Lady Vols?
Yeah. I don't know. Going into my recruiting process, it was kind of just kind of one of my goals that I want to play in the SEC, the biggest stage, and knowing that I wanted to go to a place that I could also, love as a school and not just for my sports. It was really big for me to imagine myself being able to go there and not playing, if that makes sense. So like not playing a sport, like I could go there and just play and just go to school. And also just the environment there. And obviously it's beautiful. It's a beautiful campus. Yeah. And the coaches are amazing. The team is amazing. Just the environment is great.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I always hear about, the platform of the SEC. There's playing time. There's proximity to home, coaching style, things like that.
Mhm.
Was it that SEC factor that was really at the top of the list?
Yeah, I mean, it's like 6 hours away from my house, which isn't terrible. It's a drive, like you can drive it. Wasn't a flight. That was a big thing for me. Obviously I'm really close to my family. So um them having the chance to be able to watch me play. And honestly, one of my goals was I wanted to be in the World Series every year. And I feel like Tennessee is gonna give me the best chance to be able to do that.
Now, how about the team this year? They've been killing it so far.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. We've been watching every game and, just keeping up with everything and just seeing how, um, that will be me next year. Like I'll be able to be there and actually witnessing it firsthand. So just seeing it's just getting me so excited and ready to get there.
Now, the team this season that is having such great success, do you have any kind of a connection with any of those players already?
Um, I know some of them from my visit. So actually, Elsa Morrison is her cousin goes to my school, which is kind of ironic. Yeah. And so her cousin's Derek Morrison. So he goes to my school. Just kind of obviously it's a small town, so obviously we know each other. So it's kind of cool to have a little connection there. I know my dad and her uncle have already talked about kind of getting together and getting to go down there. So that's kind of a cool aspect that really I didn't even realize until I got down there and kind of talked to some of them. And Alan is her uncle, and he was telling me about Elsa. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Elsa was on this podcast not too long ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
She's kicking butt this season, which is amazing.
Yeah. So now, what about any other interesting recruiting stories? Because I saw on your social media you got to visit a lot of cool places. Was there anything else
Yeah.
that really was impressive?
So I took visits to Indiana, IU, which is like right down the road, compared to the other places right down the road. I went to Oregon, Tennessee, and Northwestern. Northwestern, I had a really good relationship with their coaching staff. Tennessee was actually the first ever camp that I went to, but Northwestern was right there with them. So it's just kind of cool to get to build some of those relationships with those coaches, and just go on some of those visits. Oregon was an amazing place. I loved it. I just didn't want to be that far from home. And yeah, so actually on the flight back to from Oregon, it was just me and my dad that went there, and our plane got like stuck, and it wasn't like we flew to, I think it was like New Mexico or something like that, and one of the seats was broken, so we had a connecting flight that we had to make, and we almost missed it and almost had to stay in the airport that night. So that was just kind of like a, oh my gosh, I would have to do this every time I want to come home, like it was. But yeah, so that's kind of something interesting that was
Yeah.
happened while we were there.
I've always wondered if when Oregon is recruiting athletes, do they really flex their connection to Nike?
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. It was actually really interesting. They had like a whole like slideshow on like all of like the shoes and everything, and basically like how it got started. And actually they have a really good business school that are like kind of based around Nike, which is really cool.
That is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Well, um, so what about athletic training kind of just beyond, what you get at on the softball field?
Yeah.
Is there anything
Yeah.
else that you do?
Like besides just regular practice.
Yeah, like when you hit the weight room, is there anything in particular that you're working on for your specialty?
Yeah, so I have a trainer. I have a couple trainers. I have like a weightlifting trainer, and then I have a an agility like coach kind of, and we've actually been working on, it's kind of odd. So my inner legs are weaker. So like my feet, instead of like being like this, tend to like kind of spread out, like go out that way, which is kind of weird. But so we've been working on really kind of, because that really affects how I pitch. Apparently, I've been talking to Megan about it. We talked about it last week. And so we've been having kind of like special workouts to kind of strengthen like the inner parts of my legs and stuff like that, so that I like can push off the mound better, which is kind of interesting. So we've been working on that. Obviously, lifting weights, working on flexibility has been something that I've been working on, in agility. Tend to have really heavy feet, so been working on kind of training some of that, but trying to get things outside of just your regular like pitching and hitting and fielding and all that stuff.
I've never considered that how you push off the mound is going to affect your release. That's interesting.
Yeah, and it's been something like semi recent. My last visit, Coach Megan kind of mentioned something to me, and then I started going to this trainer, and he was like, "Maggie, we need to fix the way you walk." And I'm like, what does that even mean? But yeah, so that's kind of where it started, and then kind of with talking with Megan some more, and she's like, "Yeah, that is like a lot of the part of it." So kind of interesting.
Huh. So
Yeah.
now what about your career up to now? Has there been a particular coach that has been really inspiring?
Um, I mean, all of my coaches have really been amazing. We've actually had, I've been on the same, like I've had the same coach since I was 10 years old, for travel, which is really cool and really kind of unique. I feel like now, we've had the same kind of like core group. That's been really cool. As far as like a specific coach, I would say my high school coach has been really impacting on, kind of, she helped me through my recruiting process, and kind of, there were some struggles that I went through as far as like mentally, kind of just understanding that, it's not my complete worth. I feel like every athlete kind of goes through that. So that's been something I've been really passionate about. But she has helped me so much as far as kind of um, letting me know that it's just a game, and you know what I mean? It's something that is not my complete worth. So that's been pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And I can tell you, as you come to Tennessee, there's a lot more to the university and the area than,
Mhm. Yeah.
just playing softball. It's so beautiful. I live closer to the Smokies, and we will visit just on a random Sunday. So that's nice. You can get
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Now, what about you personally? Is there something that very few people know about you?
Gosh. Say I'm pretty much an open book. I mean, I guess one thing is I like to hunt with my dad. That's something that I like to do in my free time, I guess. But yeah,
What do you hunt?
just deer, like whitetail deer.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. What's your favorite part of that? Just the silence and sitting there
Yes,
and watching?
honestly. Yeah. And it's always been something that me and my dad have kind of gotten done together. So it's kind of just something that's kind of been like our thing that, I mean, we've done since as long as I can remember.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. So it's kind of a funny question or difficult, but I'd like to hear, and it's kind of a piggyback off the question about coach that was inspiring. Has there been a single lesson you've learned about softball that you like will remind yourself before every game or kind of think about?
Yeah. So it's not really from a coach, but like my dad would always tell me, take care of the small things and the big things will take care of themselves. And that's been something that's like really been like impactful on me as far as like not looking at the whole big picture, just kind of picking out, small things that will then lead up to that big thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's something that you'll pick out and think about before every game.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's something that like no matter what situation you get into and like um whether you're winning or losing, you can't control whether, you know what I mean? At that point, like you have to go from the small things that you can control. So,
Yeah. So now one last question. Everybody gets it on the show. What is an unforgettable sports memory for you? You're still a young lady, but when you're 80 years old, what's something that has already happened to you that you think you'll still be able to picture perfectly?
yeah. Um Well, I talked about how we've had the same group of girls and same coach since we were 10. And 12U, it's something that to a normal person or like somebody that's not really in like the travel ball world is like, oh, like, yeah, whatever. But we went to the PGF Nationals in 2021, I believe. And we won the national championship. And it was just something that, like, it was just an amazing season that just is unforgettable for us. And it was something that, we had worked towards all year. And honestly, that was the season that we were only 12, but it was something that was like everybody. That was like the point where we all became sisters, and no matter what would happen, and no matter where we all went in life, whether we went to play college, whether we went to whether we went to not play and not play anything and just be normal, be a normal kid, right? At that point that we were all like we will always keep in touch, we will always have that connection. So
That's amazing. That is such an accomplishment.
yeah, it was great. It was a great season, honestly.
What was the celebration for something like that?
A celebration. Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
what was it? You guys, that's got to be a
So we
party,
went
right?
Yeah, so we were in California. That was where obviously they are. And we went back to the hotel and ended up buying this like cake and just like brought it down to the lobby and just all like ate all ate from that cake. And then we did like a party bus. We got on a party bus. It was so much fun. But
That sounds
yeah.
like a great time.
Yeah.
Excellent. Are any of those players that you've grown up playing with going out to other SEC schools or any big time
Yep. So
programs?
Brinley Herb, um, she is going to Kentucky. She was Indiana's National Gatorade Player of the Year. So she's on our team. She's still on our team. Adele Metz, she is going to Mizzou. So I think those are the main two. Annie Newman is on my team now. I'm not sure if she was on that team, but she's going to Kentucky. So yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Maggie, thank you so much for joining me on the show. I really do appreciate it. Best of luck next season, and we'll be watching to see how you progress and the whole team
Yeah.
goes
Thank you.
together.
It's great being on here.